this is probably a good place to just ask you to maybe give us a little bit of a plot summary, introduce us to the characters, let us know a little bit about what the, no spoilers.
No,
But
the main protagonist is a woman named Anne Harper, and Anne is an equestrian. She's a dressage competitor in her old life, and that comes to an end. And she finds herself working at a television station, and she's an investigative reporter. She still trains horses, and there's a huge part of her life is still horses, and it's mostly surrounding her daughter Samantha, who's also in the story. And Anne is trying to train Samantha to be a world-class dressage rider. And she's working as an investigative reporter. And that's the main character in the book. And Anne's called to investigate rumors of a wild horse herd, a herd of wild horses. And they're being threatened. And so she's sent up to investigate this situation.
I want to ask a little bit more about Anne's character, though, about who she is, because when I started reading, and I'm not saying that this is anything to do with equestrians, but I got the feeling that Anne herself was kind of a bit of a snob and maybe a little bit of a task mistress.
Anne has a sharp edge to her. That character is opinionated, hard to get along with, but she has a great heart. And she is dedicated to her profession, both investigative reporting and training horses. But she likes things just kind of so-so, and when things go awry, I guess you could call her a control freak. Anne is definitely a control freak.
And so who does she run into? What happens that starts to really turn the world upside
okay,
down?
so there's the other character, the other protagonist is a guy named Nolan Powell, who is a horse whisperer, and he is a horse angel. And there are distinctions between those two things in my story. Of course, this is a fiction, right? So Nolan is there trying to protect this wild horse, this herd of wild horses, and him and Anne, meet and butt heads, and are thrown together to try to save this herd of horses. Anne being in the role of an investigative reporter, trying to figure out what the story is, and Nolan begrudgingly letting her, accompany him out to the range to find out and help these horses survive.
Okay, now we get into the meat and potatoes. Who's the antagonist here?
There is a couple of, the main villain in my story is a senator who is a landowner, or not a landowner, but he gets a lease on a cattle ranch. And in reality, there's always a conflict between the cattle ranchers and the wild horses, because the horses and the cattle compete for the same resources. And so my villain is a guy that runs cattle, but he's also a very powerful senator. And he is very interested in his cattle ranch. So he's the main guy, but he also controls, the government in this small town. The police officers all work for him. Matter of fact, they're all part of the same family. And it ends up that there is a long-standing family feud between the senator and the family that is that I call the horse angels. One other thing that is relevant is the horse angels it's a horse rescue ranch. It's called Angel Ridge, and it's a horse rescue ranch. And the people that own that rescue ranch have been in the area for generations, as well as the senator. And there's a family feud going on between these two. So it kind of throws a little bit more fuel on the fire when the drama unfolds about the cattle ranchers trying to, threatening the wild horses.